Todd Zolecki, covering the Phillies each and every day all season long for MLB.com. So, Todd, not a big finish, I would say. I'm looking at the numbers for Bryce Harper right now, especially the last few weeks, playing through injuries all year. I mean, he hasn't played in the field basically the entire season. How's he looking in person? The at-bats, what's he saying? How do you think he's going to perform here?
Well, it was interesting. You're right. He did struggle. He broke his thumb on June 25th. He was having one of the best seasons of his career before he broke his thumb. He comes back, and it has been a struggle. I think he's batting .227 and OPS in the 600s in 35 games since his return. And so, obviously, they need to get him going. It would be such a boost to this line. Now, he said something the night they clinched on Monday in Houston. He said the beautiful thing about game one of the postseason is that everybody is 0-0 with a clean slate. So you wonder if that could kind of reset him a little bit. I know Phillies interim manager Rob Thompson talked about that the other day. He said he's kind of battling his timing, but he's also battling his confidence. And Bryce is a guy that plays with a lot of energy, and I think he's kind of a red light player. The bigger the stage, the bigger the moment, the more he kind of gets locked in. And so maybe at 2:07 p.m. Eastern, he will get locked in against Jose Quintana.
Yeah, I'm with you. As long as he's feeling okay, that's what's most important. You know, you think back to like Alex Bregman hurt last year and he just never had it, but it wasn't a confidence thing. It was he was actually injured. Anyway, the big problem for the Phillies, I would say not for this series, but just for the last several years of why they haven't made the playoffs in a while. The bullpen's been a disaster, much better this season than the last few. But how do you think that the bullpen is going to play out strategically in a series like this against the Cardinals? Because this should be the weak spot on paper for Philly, right?
It is going to be interesting how Rob Thompson deploys this bullpen. Now, earlier in the season, Sranthony Dominguez was legitimately one of the best relievers in baseball. He was so dominant, so lights out. He had an elbow injury recently. He just came back, and he has struggled upon his return with his command. He hasn't been throwing as many strikes. He hasn't been nearly as dominant. David Robertson, who they got at the trade deadline, he was lights out with the Cubs, and he was lights out with the Phillies the first few weeks. And then recently, he has lost a little bit of his command. So what we have seen from the Phillies the past week and a half is Zach Eflin, former starter Zach Eflin. He missed 2 months because of a knee injury. He didn't have enough time to build up. They're like, we're going to put him in the bullpen. Maybe he'll be a 2-inning guy. Maybe he'll be a 1-inning guy. He has been so good as a 1-inning guy, as a reliever, that Rob Thompson had him pitch the 9th inning on Monday night in the Phillies' most important game in 11 years. And he shut down the Astros, earned their first save in his career. Jose Alvarado pitched a scoreless inning and a third. And so what I think we could see is if the Phillies have a lead going into the 8th inning, you know, a save type of situation, depending on how the lineup is setting up at that moment, you're going to either see Zach Eflin or Jose Alvarado, because they are the two hottest pitchers in the Phillies bullpen at this moment.
And that's what you do. You ride the hot hand. I love it. If you told me that at the beginning of the season, I'd be like, what, Eflin to Alvarado? But whatever, we'll take it. Who's pitching well right now? Todd, have fun out there in St. Louis. It's going to be nuts.